Chang and Eng Bunker were born in Siam on the May 11, 1811. Chang and Eng were Siamese American conjoined twins. Their fame propelled the expression Siamese twins to become synonymous for conjoined twins in general. They were widely exhibited as curiosities and were two of the 19th century's most studied human beings. Chang and Eng, joined at the waist by a tubular band of tissue about 3.5 inches long and about 1.5 inches in diameter, were born of a half-Chinese mother and a Chinese father. Their mother reportedly said their birth was no more difficult than that of their other several siblings. Their father, Tii, was a fisherman who died when the twins were young, possibly in a smallpox epidemic that ran through the area in 1819. Chang and Eng were 17 years old when they traveled to the United States. They arrived in Boston on August 16, 1829. Their arrival was excitedly reported in newspapers with varying degrees of racial stereotypes and falsehoods. After leaving the United States, they toured major cities in Britain, and by the time they returned to New York in March 1831, the twins had gained some skill in English reading, writing, and speaking. When touring in cities, the twins stayed at hotels, where they charged audiences to attend their freak show. In 1843, Chang and Eng married, sisters Adelaide and Sarah Yates, daughters of a respected local landowner. Each wife gave birth in 1844. While no details survived about how the couples conducted their intimacy, it's worth noting that the brothers' first children were born 6 days apart. They would go on to have an astounding 21 children between them. In early October 1860, they signed with famed showman P.T. Barnum for a month and exhibited in Barnum's American Museum in New York City. By the time the Civil War ended in 1865, the twins' finances had taken a hit, so they decided to resume touring. In 1870, Chang suffered a stroke that paralyzed his right side, the side that was closest to his brother. Eng nursed him back to relative health, as Chang tied up his right leg in a sling and, using both a crutch and his brother's arm, went about his daily routine. But he never returned to full health, developed a vicious cough, and took to drinking. Early in the morning of January 17, 1874, one of Eng's sons checked on the sleeping twins. "Uncle Chang is dead," the boy reportedly said to Eng, who responded, "Then I am going too." Over the next hour, he suffered intense pain and distress, a cold sweat covering his body. The only notice he took of his dead twin was to move his body nearer to him. 2.5 hours after losing his brother, Eng Bunker died. They were 62 years old.